Well, let's see. I was raised in church from the time I was a little bitty baby, and I accepted Christ as my Savior when I was 12 in a Baptist church on the south side of Atlanta. And really after that, lived my life the way I was supposed to for Christ, as much as you do when you're 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Went to school, finished school, got married, didn't always make the right choices and always didn't include God in the things and the decisions that I was making. And so had a roller coaster up and down of different things. And it wasn't until our grandson, Drew, was born in 2001 that Jesus became not only my Savior, but the Lord of my life. And I feel like I had been through so much before Drew was born, through our own children and mistakes that I feel like I had made, and I carried a lot of guilt, a lot of mom guilt in that I felt like I had made decisions that were not good, and just a mom carries a lot of guilt, and that guilt will eat you up. But when Drew was born, the situation presented itself that he needed to live with us. And so I felt like that was God telling me that I didn't make mistakes, that He wasn't blaming me for anything, and that I was worthy of having this grandson to raise. So through becoming a parent again at that stage of our lives, that's when I really made God the Lord of everything in my life, because I had a little life that I needed to make sure was on the right path, and that God was number one in his life. And he was born with physical abnormalities that I knew were going to make life different for him, and that how I based his life and what I let his foundation be was going to carry him through life. So it just became evident to me that I couldn't do anything on my own. I couldn't do anything with my plans, that all my plans had to be, that I had to seek God in everything that I did. And through that, he's blessed. We've been able to have Drew in a private Christian education, and my faith and my walk has grown just watching him grow up in the Lord from day one, and how it's just so easy for him. It's so easy for him. And he accepted Christ when he was in the second grade. So my walk has grown by watching him, and how God has strengthened him, and how an ear that's only half of an ear to him doesn't matter, because in his eyes, that's the way God made him. And if God wanted his ear to look like the other, and he would have made it that way. And to be able to be that grounded and that sure that God made you that way for a reason, that doesn't do anything but strengthen me. So a lot of my growing in my walk with faith has been through watching Drew grow from a baby to being a 17-year-old who to this day feels like that being deaf in one ear and being blind in one eye and his ear looking different is part of God's plan, and that it's going to be part of his testimony. I've learned not to fear things. I've learned not to fear the future for me, for our family, for Drew, because I know that God's got it all. I know that as long as I commit everything that I do to him, and it doesn't mean that I'm perfect every day, and it doesn't mean that I don't try to plan things on my own, because I'm a mom and I'm a grandma, and that's what we do, and we're fixers, and we try to fix stuff and plan stuff and route stuff the way that we feel like it needs to go. But every single day I'm learning that I have to just seek him, and I have to pray about everything. And it's little stuff. It's things whether Drew goes on a trip to the school. It's things whether he spends the night somewhere. Everything that we do, I have to pray about, because I can't make those decisions on my own. I have to make sure that my plans are not just my plans. They have to be plans that I run by God first. And as I've done that, I've gotten to the point where I can discern what He wants me to do better. But the more I stay in the Word, the more I am in prayer with Him, then the more I know what He wants me to do. I can hear His voice, whereas 18, 20 years ago, I might have to I wasn't hearing His voice as much because I wasn't seeking Him in all things. So the closer my relationship is and the more I stay in the Word, then the easier it is for me to discern what He wants me to do. So through that, I know that He's my Lord. He's Lord of all. He's enabled me. He's brought out things in me and given me just the opportunities to be able to teach in a classroom, but not only academics, but to be able to teach children about Jesus and to plant seeds that I may not see come to fruition, but down the road somewhere I pray that every day that there's just someone that's watering those seeds. But I like that opportunity every day at school and to be able to do that here too through children's ministry. Just to be able to see children who come to know who Jesus is and they come to accept Him as their Lord and Savior. So that's been a blessing to me, and I think it's taken me a long time to find out exactly where God wanted me and what He wanted me to do. But when I let Him lead the way instead of me trying to force it, then it was easy for me to figure out where I was supposed to be, and I'm blessed.